And that's just how it came to be. I just kept getting better at it, and there was never a moment where I didn't love volleyball. And that doesn't happen with a lot of people. So thankfully, like, a lot of people get burnt out and just say they don't have the love of the sport anymore. And I still love it just as much as I did when I was 10. But yeah, it's funny. My dad and my mom met playing volleyball, and then my dad proposed playing volleyball, and then their wedding cake was the volleyball. So I think
you're like literally made for it.
Yeah, I think it was just in the cards for me. I don't know. I just always knew Washburn was a place where I wanted to go. It was close to home, that I could still see my family. And so, yeah, I always knew it was Washburn. And then he gave me an offer, and I immediately said yes.
Welcome back to the Next Gen podcast. Today, I'm here with our second Washburn athlete and yet another friend, Corinna. Thank you for coming in today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm glad we finally got this on the calendar. I feel like we've been like trying to figure it out since October, but you know, better late than never.
For sure.
So now, my favorite thing to do just to like start off the podcast is to just shoot you with some random questions. So just gut instinct. There are no wrong answers, but I will judge the answers. So just whatever you think of. Okay. What is your all-time favorite team? Like, if you can only root for one sports team for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
I would go for the USA men and women's volleyball for the Olympics. That's like my favorite. Every 4 years rolls around, I get really excited, and I watch almost every single game, men's and women's, and it's awesome. So
that's fun. I noticed before doing any of these interviews, I always go and online stalk as much as I can, to get whatever I can think of. I noticed your Washburn profile mentioned that your dad played college volleyball, which I didn't even know was a college sport for guys. So where did he play?
He played at Penn State, which he only played for like a year. And then he just got busy with other things, and it just wasn't as big as it is now back in the day. But he did play for Penn State for a year, and he loved it. He grew up playing volleyball, and that was just kind of thing he did. And then he kind of just played like intramural sand after that, because he was like a beach guy or whatever. So
that's fun though.
He did play for Penn State, and then my mom also played at like a D3 school, I think, in Wisconsin. So
nice, fun. Yeah. What is your lucky jersey number?
12.
Is that always been number 12? Is there a reason for it?
So I have two older siblings, Connor, who's 28, and then Sophie, who's 24. Connor was always number 12, and then Sophie was number 12, and so that's just fine.
Family tradition. I love it.
It is. Yeah.
I've talked to a bunch of athletes. Some of them Andrew Orr's been on the show. Johnny Schuberg's been on the show that as well. Some athletes are extremely superstitious and some could care less. Do you have any weird little like game day quirks or warm-up things that you have to do?
I think I just have to stay in the same routine every time. Like I do have the setter ball, and it's just it's the same size as a volleyball, but it's a little bit heavier, and it's like used to like train your wrists and make them stronger and make it easier to be able to like set. So when you go from heavy ball to light ball, it's easier. My dad gave that to me as a Christmas gift when I was like 12, and I still have it, and I still use it before every single game, and it travels with me everywhere I go. So that would probably be my biggest one. Other than that, like I don't have to put on the same knee pad on the right foot or anything, right knee. So that's pretty much it. I guess I'll take the ball everywhere I go. So
that's a good one, and like it actually
it's beneficial.
It's It's not just like a random like I'm hoping this works out. Like it's actually going to help you get ready for the game.
Yeah.
Who has been the biggest inspiration in your athletic career?
I don't know. I would probably say I've been really blessed. I've been playing volleyball since I was 10, and I've just been in a really competitive atmosphere since 11s and up. And so I think I've been really blessed with a bunch of amazing coaches. So I could literally say all of them, but Coaches, yes, and then also my dad. My dad was an assistant coach for my team up until I was 17. And not because I needed him there, but because he just had a lot of knowledge to share. And any time that I would start to overthink or I would start to feel like I'm not good enough, he would just kind of shoot me a glance and say, like, you're meant for this. He's like, we can either walk away and you not try again, and that'll be the end of it, or you can go back out there, you can try, and you can get better. And just so, yeah. And so I think my dad would probably be my biggest inspiration, but I don't know. My brother and my older sister, I mean, they're both great at their athletics as well. So I think just trying to live up to their potential and their expectations of me. And so honestly, really, I've had so many amazing inspirations in my life. I don't know if I could just pick one. So
I think that's our second week in a row where dad takes the cake for biggest like inspiration and like, you know, helping you through it all. So that's we'll keep that streak going. If you weren't playing volleyball, is there any other sport that you like were interested in looking at playing at a higher level?
Well, in high school I threw discus, but my older brother went to college to throw discus, so he kind of taught me the ropes, and I learned as best as I could. But as you know, I am pretty small, so it was a little difficult. I held my own in high school, but I don't think I would have held my own in a college atmosphere. But no, I think volleyball has just kind of always been my thing.
That's all right.
Yeah, I did softball for a little bit, but like I didn't super love it. So yeah.
Fair enough. That's perfectly fine. And then have there been any extreme sports related injuries that you've just like you really struggled with to overcome?
No, I've been super lucky. I've been so lucky.
Right.
I've rolled a lot of ankles, been in a lot of boots. But luckily they've all just been rolled ankles. Like I tear some ligaments there now, but you can always, your muscles just grow back, and
right.
Although they're not as strong as they used to be, you can still brace them up, tape them up, and you know it all comes back full circle eventually, and it's okay. Right. So yeah, luckily I have not had any terrible injuries. I can't. I'll tell you about one girl on my team. Her knees are basically built like upside down, kind of, and just like her joints and things don't move the correct way. And so every time that she has like an impact, like lands in the ground or jumps up in the sky or like jumps up in the air, her knees like wobble around and tears everything on the sides of the knees that are holding them together, like your ACL and MCL and everything. And she's had like 4 or 5 knee surgeries, and she's just amazing. She's literally one of the best athletes I've ever seen. But it's just not fair. Like lives in the training room. She's had all the surgeries. And so this final winter, she finally got to play some, and went crazy, like played so well, but her knees just they couldn't stay strong. And it was just causing too much pain, and so she eventually had to hang the towel up. But yeah, I can't imagine, and I've never gone through that type of injury and just like recovery process, but I know it's really hard on just literally every aspect of life, like emotional and in friendships. And yeah, so luckily I have not, and I wish that upon no one, but I have seen it secondhand, and I'm it's just sad. Yeah.
It's hard to, especially when it's someone that you care about or a teammate, to watch them and know like how much they want to be out there playing and they just can't. That's hard. Well, I wanted to dive into just starting from the beginning, obviously with your family ties to volleyball. They were probably a big influence, but why did you choose to get into volleyball? You said at 10, and was there a big family push or something more that you wanted to do?
Well, my older sister played, so I kind of just followed her around everywhere I go. Right. 'Cause I'm the youngest, so I just get pulled on everywhere, which is exactly how I would want it. But yeah, it's funny. My dad and my mom met playing volleyball, and then my dad proposed playing volleyball, and then their wedding cake was a volleyball. So I think
you were like literally made for it.
Yeah, I think it was just in the cards for me. Thankfully. So yeah, I grew up watching my sister play, and it was just something that I also did, and that's just how it came to be. I just kept getting better at it, and there was never a moment where I didn't love volleyball. And that doesn't happen with a lot of people. So thankfully, like, a lot of people get burnt out and just say they don't have the love of the sport anymore. And I still love it just as much as I did when I was 10. So
I love that. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah. Did you start off on, I'm assuming, like rec leagues in town, or like, walk me through your teams and how you got more and more competitive as you got older?
So I think, the first team I was on, I was 8, playing on a 10s team. I don't even know. They were a green team. I don't know the name of that one. My dad would know. I don't know. I just have like a cute little picture of me like setting, and that's all.
Yeah.
And then I went to PVA when I was 10 and 11. And then I went to Dynasty when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. But 16 was a COVID year for me. And then I went back to PVA my 17s and 18s year. And then
nice.
Yeah.
Right. So did you play it all in high school or like through the school?
Yeah. So I guess that was all club. That was club life.
Okay. Yeah.
And then high school, I played throughout middle school. I didn't play one year. People don't love that I made this choice, but if you play middle school volleyball, you can't like do club practices and club things during that season. Like, it's illegal. Right. And I just thought that I loved all my friends and I loved all my teammates and I love the coaches. But I just thought that I would grow more as an individual athlete if I chose to train with a club instead of training at high school.
Right.
So I totally get that. That's the path I chose. And I really think I did get so much better in that time that I spent training somewhere else. And, but I did then come back for high school and I was on varsity all my 4 years. So.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Fun. I think that's like a really odd choice for just thinking about it as like an athlete wanting to pursue a career past high school. It's a really, like, some sports, it's like you totally want to be with your high school team. Sure. And some of the smaller sports, not that I grew up playing softball and it was the same issue.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you were football, right. For us, it was like a weird, not a lot of like, obviously if you play football, you're playing for the school. If you play men's basketball, you probably want to play for the school. But if you were playing something smaller like volleyball, softball, like certain little sports, like not little, but less appreciated, I feel like is the best way to look at them. Yeah. Then playing with a club might just be the high school doesn't have the right resources you need, where the club will have those things to actually get you to the level you want to be at. So when did you know, like, okay, like this is something I love doing, I want to continue playing volleyball past senior year?
I always knew I wanted to. I kind of had some setbacks because, at like 13 or 14 years old, I just kind of stopped growing, and my family like looked to put me on growth hormones, and because like my older brother and my older sister are tall, my parents are each like in the 5'11" range. Like I'm 5'4" and I should be bigger than this. But that also just wasn't in the cards for me. The doctor told me that my growth plates were already closed when I was around like 14, 15. And so this is who I am. And so in my position, because I'm a setter, you're supposed to be much taller. Right. But I just loved setting too much to want to change. And that definitely was a process of like, should I switch to a libero? Because you can be as short as you want. But I was like, I just love setting too much that I don't think that's fair to me. Like, this is what I've grown up doing. This is what I really love. And so I kept going with it. And I was just going to hope that a college was going to reach out to me. And so I don't know. I knew I always wanted to play in college. I knew this is what I wanted to do. And if I was able to, mainly to help pay for my school, that was the biggest thing, was how sports can help you, and then just meet teammates and friendships along the way. And my older sister Sophie went to Northwest Missouri State, and so I saw her go, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do it too. So yeah, that's when
what did that recruitment process look like for you? Did you instantly know Washburn, or were you in contact with a bunch of teams?
Well, so mine was a little special because it was kind of during COVID.
Yep.
And so, but luckily volleyball commitment starts or like recruiting starts early. And so I think the big year was 16's year. And again, that was my COVID year. So, and they were looking at me, and you go to college camps, and that's when coaches really see you as well. And so, Chris Herron, our Washburn women's volleyball coach, he has seen me since I was probably 13, 14. Just because Sophie would go to the clinics and such, so I would as well. So he's known me, and he's kind of kept an eye on me throughout the years. And he would always come around to my court and come watch me play. And so, he just invited me on a visit, and Washburn was the only visit I took, and the only offer I had. So I would kind of put all my marbles into one basket, but I knew I came here during COVID, and usually you take a tour of the buildings and maybe you practice with the team. I did not get to do any of that. I didn't meet any professors. I Zoomed with one. I didn't go into any of the buildings, but I still was I don't know. I just always knew Washburn was a place where I wanted to go. It was close to home, that I could still see my family. And I always knew it was Washburn. And then he gave me an offer, and I immediately said yes. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. I love that. Yeah. What was the process like getting to know the team and building those connections and just kind of being like, hey, I'm kind of all of a sudden in your friend circle?
For sure. So because of COVID, you usually go on a lunch with them and you get to meet them a little bit and see if that's where you fit in. Again, I didn't get to do any of that, so I kind of just walked in freshman year. Or I guess we meet each other the summer before freshman year, and we do workouts together. So that's what I did. But luckily, my older sister Sophie, so she played at Northwest. Coach Herron actually came up to her at one of our tournaments and was like, "Hey, you got one more year?" And she's like, "No, I'm done. I am so done. My 4 years are up. I'm done." And he's like, "Oh, do you want to come to Washburn?" And so she was like, so she talked to me, and this is kind of a long story, but she talked to me, and at first I wasn't super excited just because I'm a younger sister and this is my turn, and I've lived under my brother and sister for as long as I can remember, and I don't want to sound selfish, but it's just this is your moment now. You've made this pathway for yourself, you've earned it. And so I wasn't excited at first, but I was like, this is a really cool opportunity. Sophie and I have never played together. And so I told her yes. And so meeting new people, I was also alongside Sophie. So we met everyone together, and it made it a lot easier, with the freshman homesickness and living by yourself for the first time. And so I always had her, and she lived in a house with the other seniors at the time. And so then I got really close with those seniors, and now they're all bridesmaids. We're all bridesmaids together, and her wedding is in March. So, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was honestly pretty easy to get to know everyone. I loved everyone instantly, loved my roommates. So yeah.
I feel like that's always my favorite question to ask athletes, because the one thing that I'm always I feel like I would struggle with that, but everyone's like, no, it's great. We're all best friends. We're all, live together, everything. So
well, volleyball kind of makes it easy because it's the first semester. You start before classes even start. And so it's you don't have time. You're so busy that you don't have time to get homesick. You don't have time to just sit in your room by yourself because you're constantly going with your roommates, constantly going with your teammates. And that's why I think volleyball is in the best season. I couldn't imagine being a track athlete and having to wait the whole spring just to start with your teammates. And so that's why I think volleyball is awesome also, is because it's in the fall. So
How was that wake up call of what high school classes and high school workouts looked like to, oh shoot, now I have to do that for a higher level? What was that transition like for you?
So I actually overloaded my high school classes, and I came in, luckily Lewisburg, a lot of our teachers are also registered professors through Fort Scott Community College. So I was pretty ahead of a lot of classes at Lewisburg. So I actually took 46 credits of college credits that I already had done.
Nice.
Yeah. So I came in to college with that. So, it was hard just because I didn't like have those gen eds to take originally, and those are usually the easier classes at college.
Right.
So I popped right into like, the junior, sophomore level classes. And so that was a little tricky. It was a little tricky, but I eventually found a way to make it manage. So yeah.
Right. And you're in off season right now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I believe. Okay, cool. So what does your, even though you guys aren't in season, aren't playing games again until I'd assume fall, what does your workout schedule look like?
So Washburn, we are known for our very mental toughening spring.
Okay.
I guess is the best way to put it. All of our workouts, we start Friday, but all of our workouts are at 5:45 in the morning. And so, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we lift and condition for the first 2 weeks. And then after those 2 weeks, you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, lift, condition, and play volleyball. So like start getting into some drills and, just ball control things. Start building just bigger relationships, especially like now we have a spring with our freshmen. And so we do like bod buddies, and we go out and have coffee with them and like get assigned a person and just get to know someone better. So we do those kind of things this spring. And then a couple weeks after that, like after spring break, is when we start a team practice. And so usually that's at like 6:30. So at like 4 to 5 days a week, you're up very before 6.
Yep.
But I think we might have a night practice this semester. So
okay, you'll get a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Yeah. During the season, how do you, especially at the beginning of the school year, how do you manage being a student and an athlete?
Yeah. I'm a person that likes to be busy. So honestly, I enjoy it as much as you complain, and you get stressed. At the end of the day, like I just tell myself, like, you should be thankful that you're busy and being able to do something. Like there might be someone who doesn't have anything to do. And so just be thankful that you're busy, and just kind of accept it and just fall in love with it. I'm getting closer into like my student teaching and my practicum hours. And so I'm going to be super busy in and out of the classrooms, having to go from like being really sweaty in the mornings right into like a dress and makeup.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's going to be one of my challenges this semester that I'm going to have to manage. But I just enjoy being busy. You just take naps when you're able to, and but also like don't spend so much time sleeping. Like still, even though you're tired, like go hang out with your roommates. This is our time to do a lot of fun things. So we like to go get snow cones when it gets warmer. We like to go bowling. Yeah, we like to go bowling. We like to figure other things to do out because this is our off season. And even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it, just because you're constantly still doing things, especially in the mornings, we do want to enjoy it as much as we can. So
I told you I was going to talk about it. Andrew has been on the show, so our listeners already know his whole story. On top of being, this winter, congratulations, by the way, you made all academic district. The team did well. You went 11-5 in conference. And you also, on top of that, manage having a stable relationship with a fellow student athlete. How do you manage having time to be with your friends and have time with him?
Well, thankfully, Andrew gets along with my friends just fine. He sometimes we say I'm not gonna make fun of him, but sometimes we say like he's one of the girls just because he just gets along with everyone. You know how he is. So he's pretty easy to manage. He's not. I think we have a really good relationship because we're really good in communication, and it's we do see each other every day mostly. But at the same time, it's not that like we need each other's attention 24/7. Like I'm not having to worry constantly about, oh my gosh, should I text Andrew back, or do I need to call him and see if he needs anything to eat? Like I know he is a very independent person, and I'm an independent person, and that the fact that we don't have to depend on each other so much is very helpful. And so I love having girl time, and he loves having his guy time, and I just think we balance it well. when I need to get my academics done, I'm very good at going somewhere alone and getting my academics done. When Andrew needs to get them done, I am very good at telling him he needs to get them done. And I'm like, I'm gonna come hang out with you, and we're gonna sit.
It's the teacher in you.
Together. It is.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sit and get our homework done, and so we do. And so yeah, I don't know. There's more time in the day than you think. So
right, you have to find it.
Yeah, you do.
Do you think him being another athlete like helps him understand your busy schedule and your need of like prioritizing?
For sure, absolutely. And I think that sometimes when you need those like rant sessions or you need those talks, like he does a very good job of just listening. Sometimes I'll like come back and we just had to run a lot or whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's like I'm gonna die. And he's like, you're not gonna die. Go, like, go
take a break, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right. So
well, you have one more season of eligibility, 2 more seasons?
Just one.
Okay, so you'll play in the fall, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then graduate next May?
Yes.
Okay. And then what's your post?
Sorry.
You could graduate.
I could graduate early.
Okay.
Student teach in the fall, but we just travel so much, and I just think that's unfair to the kids, and it's unfair to myself to just like really hone in on just like learning how to be a teacher and an upcoming teacher. And so I picked up a business minor as well. And so I'm going to do some business courses next fall, and then I'll student teach in the spring.
What grade do you know yet? If like you have a preference of what age group you want to teach?
No, I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm doing kindergarten this semester.
Nice.
So, and then I did 5th grade last semester. So I'm kind of on opposite ends. So we'll see which one I think I like more, and then I'll just go with that. So yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that your post-college volleyball career, you'll still keep up with volleyball in your life? Obviously still watching it when the Olympics are on and everything like that. But how will you still keep it part of your life? For sure. I mean, I have already coached a couple teams. I coach camps, and they always tell me, and I don't know if it is the teacher in me, but like I'm always pushed with the younger ones, or they always need me to go, and I usually end up talking the most and just trying. I mean, because I really do, like, it might be the teacher in me, but like I want to see every kid reach their full potential of success. And I know that. Yeah, and I know that a good coach or just some helpful feedback can change a kid's career, and for sure.
And if they're willing and open to wanting to learn, then by all means, I'm not going to stand in the way of that. And so I love coaching. I love coaching so much, and so I definitely think I'll try to be a coach anywhere that I go. I don't know.
Right.
I would love to travel after college. I would love to. Yeah, I don't know. Coach, travel, find a job.
See where life goes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
Do you think you would want to do like the club coaching experience, or through, whatever school you're placed at if they have a team?
Yeah. I think I would want to do club. If I had the option to be able to be a high school coach or middle school coach, I think I would definitely pick it up. But I for sure want to be settled down like at a school where I know I'm going to stay for a while, because I would want to like build something up and not just for 2 years and then leave and go to another school. So
that makes sense. And it probably would do a lot better as well, like building up the program, than just like one good season and then nope, she's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, unless you have anything else that you want to talk about, I think that's all I had on my list. So we can close the show out. Everyone, make sure to follow Corinna McMullen 12 on Instagram, and then as usual, we'll tag her in all of our social posts that we put out promoting this episode. And per usual, this episode is brought to you by Sports Radio 810. Sports Radio, bringing you the next gen of athletes and broadcasters and listeners in the Kansas City area, right here on the Next Gen podcast. Thank you guys all for listening. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, Corinna.
You're welcome.